What if what we are taught about Earth is in complete opposition to what Scripture says? This isn't about opinions, this is about reading the text for yourself. Because the Bible makes some very specific claims. Psalm 104 says the earth is set on foundations and cannot be moved. Psalm 93 says the world is established and it shall never be moved. But we're taught that the earth is spinning, tilting, flying through space at thousands and even millions of miles per hour. So which one are we trusting? Then there's Joshua. In the middle of battle, he doesn't say earth stop spinning, he says sun stand still over Gibeon. And Scripture says the sun stood still, not the earth. Now look at Genesis. God creates something called the firmament. In Hebrew, the word is rakia, and it comes from a root word that means to spread out or hammer out like metal. Something stretched, something structured. That structure divided the waters above from the waters below. The Great Deluge, known as Noah's Flood, is an event many believe truly happened. Accounts and evidence of a massive flood appear across cultures all over the world. Genesis 7:11. On that day, referring to the flood, all the fountains of the great deep burst forth, and the windows of the heavens were opened. The windows were not just poetic, they were described as something that could be opened and closed. But we're told there's no barrier, just our atmosphere sitting next to the vacuum of space, something we can't replicate without a container. There are many more scriptures that challenge what we've been taught about the world we live in. And the deeper you go, the harder it becomes not to ask. Was the model we are given designed to conflict with the biblical text? So let me ask you something. Are we interpreting Scripture through man's lens, or questioning what we've been taught? Because the Bible warns us not to put our trust in man. And if there's even a chance we've been lied to about something this big, wouldn't you want to look into it for yourself?
Christoph, let me ask you, why do you think that Truman has never come close to discovering the true nature of his world until now?
We accept the reality of the world with which we're presented. It's as simple as that.
Don't argue about the shape of the earth. If you're arguing about the shape of the earth, you've already lost the debate. I want you to think in the simplest possible terms of what Earth actually is, and start with your own understanding and your own experience. What is Earth? It's land on water. Why waste time debating the unknown when we can know for certain that 70% of the Earth is water? What's 60% of your body? Water. What's 50% of a tree? Water. Despite all the evidence that most of our known world is water, scientists arrogantly claim that it's actually made up of empty space and dark energy and dark matter, which are things they just made up. Scripture is abundantly clear. God made the world from water. What does the second sentence of the Bible say? The Spirit of God hovered over the waters. What's the second commandment? You shall not make a graven image in the form of anything in heaven above, earth beneath, or the waters beneath the earth. Now ask yourself, what is the shape of the surface of a standing body of water? It's flat and level. One of their favorite propaganda techniques is telling you that that insane thing that they're pushing on you has always been true and it's always been going on. Just like in 1984, where the propagandists rewrite history to say that Oceania has always been at war with East Asia. Likewise, globalists will tell you that we've always known that Earth is a globe for 2,500 years. How did we know it 2,500 years ago? Because some guy figured it out using sticks and shadows. Of course, no one can quite explain how this experiment proves that we are living on a giant basketball with a lava molten core, with oceans sticking to the outside, spinning at 1,000 miles per hour, going around the sun at 66,000 miles per hour, and zooming through the larger cosmos at 1 million miles per hour. But the point isn't to understand. The point is to be afraid of questioning something that has been quote-unquote known for 2,500 years. The book 1984 by George Orwell exposes the fact that the rulers of our world are lying about what the stars are. Here's a passage where the main character Winston is talking to a government agent named O'Brien. Winston exclaimed to O'Brien, "But the whole universe is outside us. Look at the stars. Some of them are 1,000,000 light years away. They are out of our reach forever." O'Brien rebutted Winston's declaration by explaining. "What are the stars?" said O'Brien indifferently. "They are bits of fire a few kilometers away. We could reach them if we wanted to, or we could blot them out. The earth is the center of the universe. The sun and the stars go round it." O'Brien continues on, saying, "Do you suppose it is beyond us to produce a dual system of astronomy? The stars can be near or distant, according as we need them. Do you suppose that our mathematicians are unequal to that? Have you forgotten? Double think.
I want to talk about some stuff that I believe that most people would have me committed over. I believe the world's flat. Mama, if you're watching this, I'm sorry. I love you. I do believe in God. Okay? Okay.
Tactical smear campaign. That's what the earth has suffered. Why doesn't anyone question the first thing that they're taught is that flat earth is dumb? Don't look over there. It's dumb. If you believe the earth is spinning, you're a target for mind control. That's the intention. And that's why it's a veil. Only when you start questioning things will the truth become apparent.
Time zones actually fit perfectly on a flat earth map. Okay, this is Gleason's standard map of the world. Patented in 1892. It's a longitude and time calculator, okay? It's scientifically and practically correct. Even stamped by the Boston Public Library. Okay, we're gonna take a look at this. And you asked about time zones. Okay, so here's the 24 hours. The entire path of the sun, as we know, travels around the Earth, in a 24-hour time zone. Each of these time zones are lined up perfectly. In a second here, I'll show you how the time zones look when you wrap it around a globe. You don't get these beautiful straight lines, okay? It's jaggedy and they do their best to make it look like it's supposed to go that way. But when you lay the time zone map down on top of the flat earth map, you'll actually see that it fits perfectly. Also, if you notice, this is in reverse, is the logo of United Nations. I'll show that as well. This is a celestial star map. So when you line up Polaris, which is at this metal hole, thank you, Josh, you'll see that it fits perfectly over the flat earth map. It rotates like a clock. You have the celestial body. Okay, this is not my map. Here, Josh, hold it right over Polaris, thank you. And you'll see the seasons, the ellipse of the sun, the solstice, okay? All of the zodiacs and celestials. You'll see even the days of the week and the month all rotate around Polaris, around the epicenter. It actually has everything to do with the end game. When people say that there is zero benefit to lying about the shape of the earth, it's because they don't understand the reason they're lying about the shape of the earth. Okay, I'm a dot connector. I have been studying this stuff for 20 years, and I can tell you that the end game here is a cosmic event. So if you believe that we are a spinning ball, like hurling through space with orbiting other planets, you're gonna believe what they throw at you. You're going to fall for their manipulation tactics. So that's why flat earthers are like sounding the alarm. I'm not here to convince you. There's so many incredible, knowledgeable people out there that are shedding light and information about flat earth and even willing to debate you, whereas most globers will not debate you on a live because they know their science doesn't stand up. And I'm just telling you, don't allow yourself to be so easily manipulated, because when it comes to the end game for these folks, if you believe that we're in space, you're gonna be completely targeted, okay? When you do understand that we live in an enclosed system, you can't fall for their cosmic events that they have planned, whether it's an alien invasion or whether you, a couple other things I'm going to talk about on my channel, but like the red planet that they say is hurling towards us. Just saying, don't allow yourself to be so close-minded that you get manipulated in the end.
Okay, I have a quick NASA update for you guys. If you've been following me for a while, you know that I think NASA is a complete and utter joke. But they do have $66 million a day of money to waste. So I figured I'd update you when I can on what exactly they're doing. So latest, this was as of a couple hours ago, NASA captures picture of a rare phenomenon of a black hole devouring a star. So that's what they're claiming this is. Now I'm going to go ahead and go out on a limb here and tell you guys this looks like what's happening to people who have had the parasite lettuce. So I don't know if this just seems to be a coincidence or if this is really what a black hole devouring a star looks like, but it looks like an hole that has come in contact with the salad parasite. So thank you, NASA, for spending $66 million today to give us a picture of what the majority of the public is experiencing at the moment. We really could not have made it through this day without that picture. So if you have been a victim of the parasite, of the salad parasite, apparently you and NASA are on the same page today.
You're recording. My friend's got a New American Bible, St. Joseph edition, New American Bible, Catholic book, okay. And there it is, St. Joseph, the New American Bible, translated from the original language with critical use of all the ancient sources. Turn the page. We'll go to that 1968 was the last publishing date. Where is the 68? Right there, 1968 edition. Okay. And we've got a little pamphlet here. The Bible teaches flat earth. And here's the Old Testament and the book of Genesis. Oh, we're going to page back here. This is the book of Genesis. Okay. And there it is. The Hebrew cosmology. Let's start reading this here. Graphic representation of the Hebrew conception of the world. God's heavenly seat rests above the superior waters. Below these waters lies the firmament, or sky, which resembles an overturned bowl and is supported by columns. Through the openings, floodgates, in its vault, superior waters fall down upon the earth in the form of rain or snow. The earth is a platform resting on columns surrounded by waters, the seas. And that is it. Thank you. Bye.
Seriously, that image, that's so CGI. How do people look at that image right there and go, yeah, that's really our outer...
Now, I'm not saying that they haven't been to space. And I'm not saying that the earth is flat. But there's a couple of things that I just don't understand. So an aeroplane pushes off air. A submarine pushes off water. Boats, they also push off water. If there's no gravity or oxygen in space, can somebody tell me what the hell does a shuttle push off from? So a bullet travels at 1,800 miles an hour. A SR-71 travels at 2,200 miles an hour. Are you trying to tell me that a space shuttle travels at 25,020 miles an hour? Is that even a real number? And the super metal space capsule splashes down into the ocean, but there's no steam. Where's the steam bed up so the astronaut suit protects him from the extremes of space? But he still needs a blanket? Oh, you son of a ball bag. So science teaches us that pressurized gas needs a container. But in space, gases are just flying anywhere, brother. Now, I'm not saying that gravity don't exist. But why is it when I peel off the skin of an orange, gravity is confused? Now, I'm not saying that the world is flat, and I'm not saying it's round. But water needs to be contained. You don't need to be a genius to understand that. And if this cost $388 million to build, I'm not surprised you ain't gone back. The thing was a rip-off, bruv. You got scammed. They say it's easier to fool people than to convince them that they've been fooled.
Did you know that every gyroscope does not actually account for the curvature of the Earth? When they are designed, they are already made to be level with the surface of the Earth. So that means that when you get up into an airplane and you start flying it, and you're going over the constantly curving surface of the Earth, the gyroscope cannot adjust to that. So that means that the plane would never actually understand where it is in space and time, and this would be really dangerous. Well, that's not what happens. The gyroscope doesn't have to constantly adjust because it is already even with the flat and non-rotating surface. And did you know that an SR-71 Blackbird can travel at up to 2,200 miles per hour? Well, they flew this thing from New York to London in an hour and 54 minutes. It went an average of 1,800 miles per hour, which means that it would have to dip the nose down and actually travel downward at 880 feet per second to account for the curvature of the Earth. And the higher it goes up, the more it has to tilt its nose down to account for the curvature of the Earth. No fighter jets do this, no airplanes do this. We are flying over a flat and non-rotating surface.
Apparently there are well over 10,000 satellites in orbit, with Starlink launching a bunch of satellites every single day. So maybe even there's like 15,000 satellites now. I don't know the exact numbers. But with this being said, let's consider the fact that during all of these spacewalks, we have never seen one single satellite other than the one that they're on, the ISS. So how is it that we have tens of thousands of satellites in orbit, but we have never seen one? What is the actual likelihood of that? Now, I understand that everyone is saying that, okay, they're really high up, and obviously, like, the Earth is huge and satellites are very small. But what are the chances that we have never seen one other satellite in orbit, ever? And Google satellites in space. Every single image that you will get is CGI. Make it even better and say real satellites in space. Still all CGI. And satellites aren't being used for cell phone communication. That's what cell phone towers are for. The internet is all underwater. They use these giant lines that run all underwater and connect all of the internet worldwide. So what are satellites actually being used for?
Do you remember that video that China released of the Tianzhou 9 scraping upon the firmament? I mean, guys, it's so unbelievably obvious. They put it on mainstream television that the rockets don't actually go straight up. They always follow an arched trajectory. And then once they reach a certain level in the atmosphere, they tend to scrape something. I mean, this is in like every single rocket video ever. If you actually have a full video of it launching and then going up into the upper atmosphere. Now let's watch this one. This is probably like 37,000 feet in the air. I'm assuming he's in an aircraft. Well, look at that. It's starting to follow an arched trajectory. Man, I wonder why. Probably because no one can go past the Van Allen belts. And apparently there's 7 layers of the Van Allen belts. You know, like the 7 layers of the firmament? So in the globe model, it's the Van Allen belts. But on the flat Earth model, the true Earth model, it's the firmament, the layers of the firmament. The rocket cannot go past it. Which is why Elon Musk has to make all of his fancy rocket landing videos from AI. Just pay attention to them. The lighting's off, it looks like Ratchet and Clank, and all of the videos and pictures of rockets actually in outer space are CGI. Can someone please explain to me how the Tianzhou 9 scraping upon the firmament looks exactly like a boat driving around on the water? You know the trail that it leaves behind it? How does a rocket ship leave that trail behind? What could it possibly be scraping on? I mean, the Bible does talk about the waters above. Could be true, could be fake. But have you seen a bullet being shot underwater? It looks just like the rocket, doing some weird stuff in the upper atmosphere. And what's really odd is that every single rocket always ends up curving, and then it looks like it's scraping on some sort of liquid substance above us. It's never actually going to space, otherwise it would just go straight up. And I feel like we've been given hints about the nature of this reality for our entire lives, like this right here. The little dome structure over the castle. It must just be a coincidence. Just like it being a coincidence that every single rocket follows an arched trajectory.
every single one. I got those 2 pictures right there from SpaceX. So they're telling us to our face. And if you look at this rainbow from Hawaii, look at the shape of the rainbow. It's also reflecting off of the firmament. That's why it's a double rainbow, but look at the shape of it. Now let's take a look at a rainbow in Antarctica. You see how it's much, much lower down? Because the firmament meets the Earth in Antarctica. And then of course, when you're in Hawaii, you're like literally right near the equator. So that's why the shape of the rainbow is different. Because we don't live on a giant sphere, we live in the celestial sphere. And every single culture on Earth knew this, including ancient Christians. So what made us forget?
Broken glass and shattered dream on the edge of what could seem silent whispers in the night, dancing shadows out of sight. Leather boots on cobblestone, past we tread, we walk alone. Crimson sneers, they fake the days. In the haze, our minds ablaze. Leather boots on cobblestone, past we tread, we walk alone. Crimson sneers, they fake the days. In the haze, our minds ablaze. We're the bad guys, steal the show. Everywhere we go, they know. We've been fast and free, so wild. Burning hearts and ruthless smiles. Cold winds blow through empty streets. Echoes of our racing beats. Streetlights flicker in the dark. We are sharks in a world of sparks.
The flat Earth map dates back over 1,000 years. This map is credited to being created by a Persian astronomer. His name was Al-Biruni, and he lived between 973 AD to 1048 AD. It's the official map of the United Nations and also the United States Geological Survey. It used to be present in many places before the creation of NASA and the Antarctic Treaty in 1959. Here you see it with Admiral Byrd. This map has been restored by Dmitry from Russia with suggestions of mine, Eddie Alenkar. Known by my YouTube channel Flat Earth Banjo, I asked Dmitry to include the Bermuda Triangle and Point Nemo, a place deep in the Pacific where NASA buries rockets. Then Robert Tozzi, a professional mapmaker, came along and enhanced the map even more. There are many people now selling this map online, but if you could order it from my online store, I would greatly appreciate it. Visit my online store now and order one of the items. I humbly thank you.